welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know, I am Alex, and today's video is going to be a breakdown of, let me just make sure that's shut, a breakdown of a documentary that I'm currently watching, which is an update on our family, which is about Micah and James Strawther. So I'm going to start off by saying that I don't really watch family vloggers. Like, that's not the content that I'm into. I'm into the culty content. I'm into, books. Like, that's kind of the avenue that I'm in, and I do watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube if they have videos. So when I was introduced to James and Micah Strawther, it was because of the podcast that I watch here on YouTube, which is the Dad Challenge podcast, which I will link him below. He does a great job of explaining this, and I believe he has a whole playlist about them. But I love to break down documentaries. Like, that's really what I love to do on this channel. And at first I wasn't going to do it because I also feel like I'm not well versed in a lot of like YouTube family vlogging like situations to really speak to it, but I decided to do it anyways because I really felt this pull because of the fact that he is special needs, my child is special needs. I do talk a little bit about that every once in a while, but that's not something that I like spend a lot of time talking about because it's his story and I want to be respectful of the fact that that is his story. So in the beginning we're just introduced to who James and Micah are. So Micah is Ohio YouTuber. She started in 2012 as a single mom and was a nurse, which is something I didn't know about because I do kind of gravitate towards the single mom content a little bit, like when it comes to social media, but I pretty much follow the budget mom. Like, that's pretty much it when it comes to like single moms. Sorry, because I love her. She's such an inspiration when it comes to budgeting. And then we talk about how she met James, which was on OkCupid and it started moving really, really fast, which I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong. But as a single mom, moving fast like that does scare me. And I've said that with Christine as well on Sister Wives. Like, moving fast to me is a little like to me, but everyone's preference is different. They also mentioned there's also different people in the documentary, which I might forget some of them, but Shannon, who was an online friend of Michael, who's also a family vlogger. There was another family vlogger, but I forgot her name. And then we have Hannah, who's an adoptee but also watches family content. Sophie, who's a pop culture commentator. This is kind of just the introductory episode, so there's not a lot here. Shannon talks about starting her channel, sharing her infertility, which I get. There are people, I could see that being like something that, like, because it's not talked about, being something popular to watch. I'm really trying to be level-headed because, again, family vlogging is not something that I watch, and I know that there's a lot of people like Sherry Frankie and all these people that have said like it's not really good for like the kids' mental health. So I'm really trying to be respectful of everyone because everyone has their reasons, everyone has their opinions, and I'm gonna try not to share too much of my opinion and just break down the documentary on things. But if I do get into an opinion, it's because it's just my opinion. Please don't take offense to it. Micah was super supportive and nice to her, and for me, when she says that, I just want to like say that like I have plenty of people that I've met online. They don't get access to a ton of information about things. Only certain people get so much information about what's going on. So for me, I don't know. I don't know. Since I don't trust people, I don't know how much conversations I would be having with people. They do a pregnancy announcement, and it is stated that pregnancy announcement gets a lot of views on there. 2015, they become a full family channel. 2016, she has 2,100 followers. And at this point, Micah knew what she was doing on YouTube when it comes to thumbnails, getting clicks, all those things, right? In 2016, she starts getting paid sponsorships like Fabletics, Dannon, a teeth whitening kit that I can't remember the company's name, all these things. It is important to note that someone from Fabletics was in the documentary. They were talking about how family influencers, mom influencers are super like up there and help them with marketing. There was a PR person there when asked about Micah. He looked at her, the person not sitting on camera, and they said we're not going to comment about that, which from what I've seen from History in 60, who I love on TikTok, it's not uncommon for companies to do that. So I just wanted to make that abundantly clear, but I also want to make it clear that Kate Hudson has said that she does not work with Micah anymore. So do with that information what you will. I have my notes here if you see me looking down. And then they talk about how in 2016 she announced that she's adopting a child from China. The WACAP website, which is where they went to adopt a child from China, says that most children who need to be adopted have medical attention or developmental needs. I do think that's important to note just because of the later episodes of this documentary. Micah says this is when there was a video posted by Micah to her YouTube where she says that she starts to get education on physicians, from doctors, from everything. And Sophie mentions how she seems confident that she can handle it. I just wanted to make a quick note on that. I love my son dearly. This is my opinion. I don't know if you're ever equipped or ready for a diagnosis of any kind, or medical, not medical. I don't think you're ever ready. That's why I'm learning as much as I can, reading books, reading all the things. It's just how I handle doing this, because I want to give my son the best life ever. And then Hannah says that this adoption appears to be going really fast. On YouTube, like she already had a name picked out for a baby she didn't have, like those sorts of things. And that Micah mentions in a YouTube video, because they do show clips of YouTube videos that Micah posted, that she went through 400 photos of children. And Hannah mentions something here that I think is like really interesting, just from in perspective of someone who's never been adopted. I think it's interesting that she says that watching Micah for her was complicated, but it also brought it full circle, because she felt like she was watching her mom, someone like her mother, going through the process of understanding. But I do think that it's really cool that Hannah shares on camera that her mom kept everything. She kept a journal of like everything that she was feeling. She kept everything from her adoption, which I thought was really cool. And like on a personal note, as a mom, like I try to save everything that I can from my kiddo, so I thought that was just like a really sweet and cool thing that she was able to give her daughter. And then it kind of just talks about I don't want to say the demise, but like how they were, someone, I forget his name, he does think education about YouTube. I can't remember his name. He's also in the documentary, and he talks about how they shared a lot about the adoption. They overshared a lot about the adoption in the beginning. And Hannah talks about how people were dying to know the next thing, and how Micah says she felt this instant connection to their son, and how she wanted a sign that she was doing the right thing, and she was praying to God, and then she opens the file, and it was in the file the sign that she was looking for. I'm not going to discredit that statement, but I will say from the clips that I've seen after those episodes, I question if she really meant that, or maybe she didn't feel that at the time and then things changed. I won't try to get in her head. And then the guy from I can't remember. If anyone remembers, let me know. And he also talks about how like people put them on a pedestal, and how they overshared and all those things. And then Hannah talks about how it was like a night and day turn. And then Hannah talks about how it was night and day, how they went from like posting all the time about the adoption and posting all these things to kind of like not doing so. And then Sophie talks about how it all came crashing down. And then Hannah talks about how after it all came crashing down, Micah just left social media, but there's still a ton of questions. So that's where the episode ended. It was just an introductory episode. So, yeah, I'm not gonna say what I usually say at the end of this. It just feels weird to be asking for any of that, but this is my breakdown. So this is episode 1. I will be back with episode 2 and episode 3. I'm going to share my opinions, but I'm also going to be respectful because I'm not going to bash anyone for doing what they do at all. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this series, and if anything, learn from the breakdowns. But yeah, so I will see you guys soon.